Hello, it's Nikki Thompson, and this is Tea with Nikki, Embracing Your Wild Woman. And I'm excited to be here this morning. I am going to be chatting about what freedom is to you. Like, what does it mean to you? Because it can mean so many different things to so many people. And today I want to be talking about that. And how do we even know what it means to us anyway? How do we know when we take away all of the lenses and the input that we have from other people? What does it actually mean to us? And is it important to us? And that's what we're going to talk about. So before we get into that, as always, I would love for you to come and listen to this. This is a podcast and we do the live video as well. You can find it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you listen to podcasts. You can find Tea with Nikki, Embrace Your Wild Woman. This is season 2, which is really exciting. I think I'm nearly at 80 episodes total, which is awesome. I love doing this podcast, and this has been something that is where I come to share all of my thoughts that I have, the ideas that I come up with on my morning walks and, nudie swims as well. All of these fun places that I come up with my ideas. But I wanted to, I just love sharing these ideas, and I would love for you to ask questions. Do you have any questions for me? You can send me a message. You can send me an email, nikki@nikkithompson.com, or, just jump online, send me a message through Messenger, leave a comment, whatever you want to do to get in touch and ask your questions, because I'd love to know what you would love to hear. So we talk about all things to do with the masculine, feminine, sexual energies coming together, embracing the whole of you, which is our wild woman, like embracing all of it, not just the pretty, polished, socially acceptable pieces of us that we often put out in the public, but all of it, all of us. And this morning I'm sitting here thinking, holy shit, what am I going to talk about today? Because I feel as though something was there, but I just couldn't quite put my finger on what it was about. And it's freedom. Freedom is a big thing that in my generation, we've never had to fight for. We've taken it for granted that we can do a lot of the things that we can do. Get a job that we want, and be able to feed our families, or buy a house, or go and have coffee with friends, or dinner with your partner, or go to school, or, all of these things we've just taken for granted until now, and a lot of things are shifting and a lot of freedoms have been taken away. And I think, we talk about it slowly being eroded. Like, it wasn't just like the freedoms got taken away today and we're like, holy my God, like what happened? What just happened? It's been slowly happening. And it's like the frog that's sitting in the pot of boiling water. If you put a frog in a pot of boiling water, it's going to jump straight out. But if you put a frog in a pot of cold water and slowly turn the heat up, it's going to cook itself to death, right? And essentially that's what's been happening. And some people are standing up, more and more people, millions and millions of people are standing up now. And it just got me thinking about freedoms and what does it mean to you? And does it matter to you? Because this was the biggest thing for me. I realized that when I look at my highest values of myself, what are my highest values? My highest values, and not in a particular order, because I can't quite work out what order they would be in, because family is huge. Family is there, my health is there, and freedom is there. They're like my top 3. Oh, and education. So 4. So they're my top values of my whole life. And freedom doesn't come before my kids. My health doesn't come before my kids, but it does sit there. And I realize as well that my health is, if my health is shit, I can't be a great mum. So my health has to actually come a little bit before my kids, to a point. And I also realize that if I don't have freedoms, my kids don't have them either. So freedom's also really high up there too. So I don't know exactly what order, but those are the four. So my freedom, my health, my family, and education. They're up there. And some people, freedom isn't there. Like, they have either taken it for granted and didn't realize, or to them, they're like, yeah, you know, I prefer to live life a little differently. And you know what? There's no right or wrong. If freedom's not on the top of your list, it doesn't matter. We all have the freedom to make that decision. So I want you to think about it. You know, right now there's a lot of people fighting for your freedoms. And maybe that doesn't actually impact you as much as you bother with. Like, maybe that's not a big thing with you, and that's okay. That's completely fine. But I realize that the people I'm talking to, that I'm seeing freedom is like one of their top values in their life. And that's why this bothers them so much, because their freedom is big. Before, like 3 years ago, freedom to me used to be like, oh, I can, you know, have whatever job I like, and I can work from home, and I can be with my children, and I can travel when I want to, and I have the money to do that. That's what freedom was. That's like next level freedom. That's a level of freedom you can only aspire to once our basic freedoms are met, right? So I didn't even know that my basic freedoms were being met because they were just there and I took them for granted. And so I was aspiring to something even bigger and better. And now we're just going for basic and still aspiring for bigger and better freedoms as well. But aside from all of that stuff, for me, freedom is being able to get up and do things I enjoy. It's being able to be there for my children when they need me. It's about taking care of my health and resting when I need to rest, or being able to go and exercise, and having the time. So time freedom is a big one for me. Having the time to be able to go and do those things. And sometimes we might have the time and the freedom to do those things, but maybe we don't have the finances to do it. And so it's about having all of these pieces of that freedom puzzle so that we can have that life that we want. And it looks different to everybody, and everyone's ambitions are different. And I was actually going to do a whole separate podcast on it, and I still might, maybe I'll separate it out later. But when we're talking about what it is that freedom truly means to us, and what does success truly mean to us, what is our definition of success, of a successful life? For me, it's about embracing all of the feminine, masculine energies, my sexual energy, all of me, and living in that space every single day. So not retreating, not playing small, not just hiding away and just sending out like the polished version of Nikki. For me, it's living the whole thing. And that can be hard for some, like, it's hard. It's not easy to do all the time. But I think when we are in that phase, we're in this state of just starting to understand what it is that success means to us, is where we realize that the definition of success that we are conditioned to believe and strive for is not necessarily what we see as success. So some people are striving for maybe millions of dollars and fame and having all of this stuff. Maybe that's success for some people. That is not success for me. For me, there's no specific dollar figure for me of what success is, but it does mean that I don't have to worry about basic needs being met on a weekly basis. Success is where I get to hang out with my family as much as we want to, and still being able to do those fun things. Success is having a very healthy, strong body. That is successful to me, because now more than ever we realize that our health is a huge priority, and if it's not, everything else can fall apart. Success is having an amazing relationship. Success is having is doing work that I really enjoy. It's about having conversations that I enjoy. It's about for me, it's presenting in front of an audience. It's supporting people who need it. It's supporting people who desire it as well, who want bigger and better things in their life. And I would love for you to go and check out our previous episodes where I talk about the art of living with desire and gratitude, because that's a big piece of this puzzle. But I would love for you to think about what your definition of success is, and is freedom part of that? And maybe it's not. Again, that's okay. That's just me. For me, freedom is huge. Freedom is a huge value. And for some people, it isn't. But I want you to think about that, because when we're diving into this whole journey of the masculine, feminine, embracing our wild woman and all of this kind of thing, it doesn't have to look like the way that it looks like for me. It doesn't have to look, you don't have to be desiring something that has this woman running through a field with like this gorgeous long flowing skirt and no bra on and just running with long flowing hair. Like, that's kind of this image that I get of like the wild woman, right? It doesn't have to look like that. She could be wearing a suit and the most incredible shoes and have her hair styled and makeup on and on point. All of those things, like, that's what embracing your wild woman could look like to you. And I don't know why, but when I was saying that image of the woman wearing the suit, was like this bright yellow suit, just to stand out. But, it can be whatever you want it to be. And when we start to dive into personal development and deep dive into it and looking at the masculine, feminine coming together, it's going to look different for everyone. We all have a different balance of the masculine, feminine, and that changes. And embracing all of it looks so different. But I want you to think about what do you want it to look like? And so for me, I often meditate. I tune in, and it changes. It changes regularly. Some days I want to be completely dressed up. Other days, like, I've got out of the pool, I've got my gym gear on, I'm heading to the gym shortly. I am happy with that. And other days I want my hair nice, I want my makeup. Well, I don't really wear makeup that much, but I want to look different. I want to look polished in my eyes, but feel energized in that way. So it's about tuning in, and you'll get better and better at listening in once you take the time to do that. I know that this week I've been really overwhelmed, and it's because I haven't taken any time to meditate. In fact, when I feel like meditating, instead I've been eating. And so my go-to is comfort eating, and it's frustrating, and it's something I'm always working on. But I know that then I fill up this like feeling with food. And instead I should be tuning in and listening to what she wants me to do and wants me to be focused on and thinking about. But sometimes I can get overwhelmed that I don't want to listen. And we can go on for too long and then feel really sick in the gut, like just really not feeling great. And that's kind of where I got to yesterday. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to do something about this. And so taking some time to journal and reflect has been really important for me this morning. Again, having time to do that to me is success. To me, that is the level of freedom that I'm aiming for, is having the time to do that. And, yesterday I had the most incredible day, actually. We went and had a look at a horse riding school for my daughter. Really wants to get into horse riding. And in my head, I'd had this story. It's too expensive. Like, don't even encourage it. Like, all of these kinds of things. But we've tried dancing. We've tried different things. And she's just not into it. But she's still obsessed with horses, as most 5-year-old girls are. And she really wants to go horse riding. So I thought, okay, we'll go have a look. So I'd rung up, and the lady had invited us to just come and have a look. And a pony ride was the other thing. And I'm like, okay, cool, we'll go do that. Thinking a pony ride in like a little stable area, like just a corral there, just walking around in a circle. That's what I thought it was going to be for her. Anyway, it was not. We got to meet everybody there, and we went on a full forest trail ride, all the kids on a horse, and Ols and I were walking the horses for the kids, so that because they haven't been really on horses before. And it was drizzling, and we're in this forest, and I'm just like, got my head right next to this horse this whole time. And it was the most incredible experience. I freaking loved it. And you can check out my stories. I posted some stories on that as well. And it was the most incredible day to have that time with them. And again, for me, that's success in my life, being able to do those things and have the time to do it and the finances to do it and the desire to just embrace the magic of that experience. The kids had so much fun. Sophia loved it so much. And so I feel as though these are some of the things that we can continue to do. So yeah, it's been an incredible week and it's been an overwhelming week at the same time. But I would love for you to think about, what is freedom to you? Is it important? And what are your values really that you're aiming for to define your own definition of success? And because you might be achieving a lot of it before you even realize. Anyway, I hope you have the most incredible day and I will talk to you later. Bye.